Hello, my name is Felix Janeway and I'm going to record a very short video about using OBS to capture lots of different views of your teaching so that you don't have to edit. The idea of using this piece of software is that you can essentially present live and switch between a lot of different views of what you're doing and very easily create a video that would take a lot of editing and a lot of time if you were doing it. The idea is that you also just try and live with the fact that you're going to make mistakes live and present it live and be done with it. We're trying to make sure that we capture our lectures as quickly as possible here. So I've just switched between two different scenes here in OBS. You saw the slides at the start and now you're seeing me as a full screen talking head. And now we're going to switch to another scene where, again, I'm different. This is live. I'm not editing anything. It's taken me no time at all to switch between those three things. I'm just using this piece of software, OBS. And what I'm going to do is show you a few different ways to set it up that are helpful to switch between it in lectures. So let's start with the normal talking head scene. That seems sensible. Whenever you're doing these scenes, you must remember audio and video. So I'm going to start with audio because I constantly forget it. I'm going to ask this scene. So at the moment, this black rectangle here is showing what is being output by OBS. I'm going to add in audio and I'm going to give it a name so that I'm not confused when I want to change things later on. And I'm telling it that I'm going to use the line in. For you, this might be USB mic or mic in or whatever. You can see I've got quite a few options in there. Great. So now this scene has sound in it. Perfect. We're going to also add a video capture device. Mine is DroidCam. I'm actually using my mobile phone as my webcam using a piece of software. It's not perfect. You can see that it's really causing issues with the green screen. Doesn't really matter. You know, you can still see me and you can still read my lips, which is most of the time what I'm trying to achieve. So here, there's the webcam. I can resize it just by pulling the squares in the corner. I can also crop by holding the Alt key, and then I just again move those squares around in the corners until I'm happy with the size of it and the shape there. Now, transparency is a little bit useful, so I'm going to really quickly show you how to do it, but I understand that most people aren't going to be set up for this. If you have a nice brightly coloured wall behind you that's uniform, you can do that. You can see I've just put some old carpet up there. Yes, I did buy a carpet of that colour, which I realised was stupid. So I add a filter and we add a ChromaKey filter. I'm showing you really quickly because I know most people won't be able to do this. I'm going to tell it that I want a custom colour, so it's whatever colour is behind you. And then essentially these sliders are what's going to affect what colour it considers to be the target colour. So I pick the green, and then I'm basically turning this up and turning down the spill reduction until I'm essentially transparent. And you would obviously mess with those settings until it was good. But there's that. Now, if I want an image behind me, all I'm going to do, I'm just clicking and dragging an image here into the sources. I'm going to make it the size I want it. And you'll notice it's over my face at the moment. So I'm just going to promote the camera up to there. And then there's my finished scene. It's got sound, it's got video, it's got a background image if I really want that, but it's not necessary at all. So that's my first scene. Now I might want a scene where I'm showing the slides as well as my head. So slides and talking head. That's going to be my new scene. Audio, always remember your audio input. I'm going to add in the same one I always do. It's useful to add in the same thing that you've already input in case you change it. It will change it universally. And I'll prove that now by adding a video capture device. If I add the DroidCam, there you go. It's hanging out there. So it's still got that transparency that I put on it in the last scene. And again, I'm just going to pop myself in how I want. Now, I have two monitors, which means that I can run a PowerPoint full screen on one of my monitors and then use my other monitor for OBS. You might not be that lucky. So if you do have a second monitor, and that can be like an old telly or something, it doesn't have to be great, it just has to be enough for you to know what's happening on the screen, then you just click Display Capture for that and it will input whatever the display is. But you might not be so lucky, so I'm just going to show you how you can use a window capture. So this is my PowerPoint slide. And what I've essentially done is clicked Set Up Slideshow, and I've told it that I want it as a window instead of full screen. So now when I run that, it runs as a window. Great, so let's start OBS again. I'm now going to add a window, and I'm going to capture that window. It's going to be the PowerPoint window, and it gives me all the options of things that are open, but PowerPoint PowerPoint is what I want. So I'm going to pop that in there. And again, I resize it to what I want. I can crop it to what I want. And I make sure that the layers are in the right order so that I'm all together. Now, if you want to add a video, there are a couple of different ways you can do it. One of them might just be that you want to play it from YouTube or something. So here's a video. At the moment, I've only got the display captured. So if I press play, you can't hear the sound at all. So what? Oh, you probably can, sorry, because I'm using a different layer of OBS, but you wouldn't be able to in this scene. But if you add audio output capture, there it's going to capture whatever happens in your on your computer, essentially. So again, I'm going to pop that YouTube video back up. Yes, sorry, you will have heard it the first time. Just a different sense of OBS. But that sound is now being captured as well in the video that I'm making. So brilliant. That's one way. Another way might be that you want to actually input the video file. So I'm going to create a scene called a video. And, oh, I didn't prepare a video, so I'm just going to drop one in. So this is an experiment that I ran. You know, I just recorded it over time and sped it up. You can't really see that anything's happening, but when I click on video, it starts that brand new video. Yeah, so you can see things are happening. Now, you'll also notice in these sources, I haven't put an audio source in or anything like that. That means that you can just let the video play. You don't have to be quiet and stop your breathing from going into the mic. Your mic's not being captured while this scene is open, which is helpful too. What else might I want? Oh, I might want to do something like show a whiteboard or something. So what I've done is I've got a really cheap webcam that I just found at the back of a cupboard somewhere. It's not good. It's not a good webcam. But I'm going to call it Models. Like that. That's my phone running out of battery. And I'm going to add now. First of all, I'll add myself so that, again, I can go sit in the corner. Again, this helps people read your lips, which really helps hearing impaired people. So I'm going to add now a new video capture, which I'm going to call board cam or something. And that is the general webcam here. Really, really cheap, dodgy webcam. But there we go. So this is on my desk. Now, you'll notice at the moment it's upside down to me. So I'm just going to click on board cam and I'm going to flip it vertically. And there we go. Now I can start to write things. So, I don't know, maybe I'm going to draw this model. So quite often in my lectures, what I'm doing is holding up a model and then going, so let's look at it in more detail here. You can see that we've got that going on, and we've got that going on. Yes. Or whatever. Yes, that is right. But there you can see again, it's a really useful way to capture a different scene to what you were seeing before, and then you flip between the different modes, essentially. I usually have what I call a splash mode, which is just the slides all on their own with no audio. That's just a really nice way to start off the recording, and this is how I started this recording as well. So just a slide on its own. Means that basically you can press record and then breathe in, and you don't get that, hello, was in there. So that's it. Now, let's just very quickly have a look at what recording actually looks like. So I want to record a scene. Essentially what I'm going to do is start the splash. I'll press start recording, and it automatically goes to, if you press file and settings, it automatically goes to your users/videos file. So that's where it's going to come out. It comes out as an MKV. I haven't had a problem with that being the scene. And then now it's recording as I go along, and it'll be recording me switching between all these different modes. And then finally, when I press stop recording, that will appear in my outputs. So whatever. So here's what I just captured. So there it is, sitting there on its own. Yes, and that's the splash screen. So that's why we're not seeing any sound there being output from this video. And I sat on that screen for quite a while, but there it is. So that's one thing that you can do. The other thing that can be useful is having studio mode turned on. And in this, what you essentially do is line up the next scene and then transition. Now you'll notice here, my green screen's gone all dodgy because my light changes depending on what's going on outside. Transparency is a real pain in the bum. If you can avoid it, I just wouldn't do it. And that takes me to the end of the video. I hope that was useful. A very easy way to make quite complex and professional looking videos in real time, and you can decide what you're doing. It can be really flexible, and it allows you to still use that. If you teach like me and you kind of improvise what you're going to do, you've got an idea but you're not entirely sure, then it lets you do that. Thanks very much for watching, and good luck. Ask me questions if you have any. Bye.